Today we're getting into store picks and Three Chord Bourbon.
Let's do this.
Welcome back, guys. Today, like I said, we're talking about store picks and getting to Three Chord Bourbon. So, Justin, what do you say? Let's get talking about some store pick stuff.
Yeah, store picks, I love them. For a while, when I first started, I couldn't find unicorns, just like every other, beginning tater, and I'm probably still a tater, honestly. So what do? You fall into store picks because the store owners tell you they're super unique. They have to sell them. They put a lot into them. They want to get rid of them, but a lot of it's true from what I've come across, especially, certain bottles, certain brands. There's store picks, honestly, I take all day. As soon as I see them hit the shelves, a couple that come to mind, Knob Creek, Old Forester, what a pick your Sazerac product. Most of those are pretty good too. Recently, Three Chords.
Three Chord. Mm-hmm. And actually, this is what's really interesting. So we have actually gotten into this bottle, right? We're gonna just go ahead and get into it again, tell you a little bit more about it once we get to that point. But I do want to say, for the fact that they do blending, they do it very well, right? And there's not a whole lot of places where they're not a distilled spirits producer themselves. We know that much, and they certainly do a good job of kind of blending the right things, and we know that they source their juice actually from Tennessee and Kentucky.
Here on the bottle.
Yep.
Distilled in Kentucky and Tennessee, and perfectly tuned in Michigan.
In Michigan, right? So this is why they're
I'm proud of that, because we're in Michigan.
Yep, this is definitely on our radar because of that fact, right? And certainly they are getting their footprint. It seems like they're expanding their footprint all the time. We see them on social media. We see people reviewing their bottles. So they're definitely making some huge inroads. So that's why we definitely wanted to talk about them today. But before we get fully into this, let's talk a little bit more again about store picks, kind of shift gears back to that. There's a lot, and like you said, Knob Creek is one that people definitely look for. They try to find those 15 years. We obviously know that Jim Beam has kind of pulled that number down. I think it was because of stock. We don't really know.
They've been selling off a lot of their 15-year to totes, 15-year totes to a lot of whoever will buy them, I guess. So you see them popping up. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
No problem. There's plenty of stuff. We know that there's KC15 now. So that's one of the questions that we're saying. Are they holding this for KC15, which is a product line, instead of just putting it out as a store pick? A lot of thoughts on that. It's kind of another topic altogether. But store picks, it'd be interesting to know also what you guys think of it, so make sure to comment below and tell us if you think that store picks are worth it. Are they better than the shelf version? From Justin and I's perspective, it definitely has some good different flavors, right? Sometimes you can get better quality, and actually most of the time you can get better quality from our experience than what you would pick out on the shelf. So I know you said Knob Creek. What are some other of your favorite store picks? Anything else come to mind right off the bat?
I think the Makers picks. I think Makers has a really cool way of having the store owners, anyways, or whoever's doing a pick. It's a pretty cool experience that I have only seen. I haven't been a part of, but from what I've been described, one day, hopefully. But also their picks are just awesome. Obviously, I said Old Forester. You can't go wrong with a good Old Forester single barrel pick, and now that they're barrel proof, boom, delicious. I think what's cool is that it's a little more personal, especially if you frequent a liquor store and you get to know the staff or the manager or the owner, whoever, sometimes you get to be in on those picks, and I think that's a cool experience. You walk in and, hey, so and so, come on to the back. I got a couple samples for you to try, and a lot of that is how it's done. Not all the time are you going to Kentucky actually to get a pick, which is the cool part to do it. But a lot of times it's reps bringing samples in, and then they bring whoever their favorite customers are or their friends are over to help pick the barrels with them, and I think that's also a cool experience because it's like, hey, I helped pick that. Even though maybe you and 10 other people did, but who cares? You had some sort of say in it, and they kind of go to what your profile is a lot of the time. So I think with the Knob Creek, going back, you said 15 years. Sometimes it's a little younger, but anyways, like $50 to $60 for a 15-year. Like, where do you
That's an incredible value.
Where are you gonna find that? You get a Blanton store pick, which is cool and all. Like, everyone loves Blantons. but it's like $120 now half the time.
Easy.
For a $60 bottle, and usually, like, it's Blanton's, so it's good. It's not always the best. I think Knob Creek picks kill Blanton's most of the time, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I just think the overall experience of it is just kind of cool. And especially if you get a chance to help out, and they're always unique, and they truly are limited. Whatever's there is there. You're never going to find it again. It's that barrel. So that's kind of cool to me.
It's very cool that if you do help out with one of these picks, again, and just kind of to describe what the process is, the store owners will get samples of, different barrels from the distillery, get it, directly in front of them. They'll be able to taste a few of them. They have the opportunity or the option to send it back and get a few more. Some of them do that. If you want to understand who really takes a lot of effort and dedication to their store picks, ask that question, right? You can always ask it and say, if do you ever send any back? Do you always just pick from the first three? And sometimes the first three are incredible, right? There could definitely be a great one from the first few. That's kind of how it works. So just generally speaking, they don't always, they don't always go down. Sometimes they do go down to the distillery and actually, go down to Kentucky or wherever the distillery is and taste it, directly from the barrel. They'll get a, thief, grab it, and then taste it, right? Decide which one they want. But it's very cool when you're able to actually participate, and then you can tell your friends, I was one of the people that helped, select this barrel, with the store owner, and it just kind of has a little bit more ownership in that sense, which is really fun. So that's kind of store picks for you. I still
go after store picks. I will today. Yeah. And I think the cool thing, at least through Michigan, anyone can pick their own barrel. They have to go through a retail partner. So it's kind of a cool opportunity if you have the cash, because barrels are expensive. You can go through your favorite liquor store and they can help you pick a barrel, which is sweet.
It's a lot of fun.
Hopefully Home Bar does that one day.
A lot of, whiskey societies, clubs, essentially, they'll do the same thing. They'll go through, because it's the only way they can, right, to go through a retailer in order to pick, and I think everyone just kind of puts in a little bit to the pot, right, and then contributes, and then you get so many bottles, from your club.
Yeah,
and usually they split it with the shop owner, so that's kind of how that works too. We'll get more into some of this other stuff, I think, in later episodes, and we'll put content on homebar.io about how this all works. But yeah, let's move on a little bit here, Justin. Yeah. Let's talk about Three Chord, right? So
all right, let's get into
I'll
this.
Go ahead and
All right,
I'll go ahead and kind of push this off to you a little bit. I know you've done a lot of research, so
I kind of have, I guess, from what I can
from what you can figure out.
Yes. So the one we're gonna be popping and tasting today, this is actually a 16-year single barrel pick from Sylvan Fine Wine and Liquor. So that's in Michigan. Yep. This was actually bottled by one of our favorite reps that we know, area manager for Three Chord Mag.
And she's known on Instagram.
Yeah, she's known on Instagram, and she's awesome. Hopefully she can come on our Thoughts Distilled and tell us a little bit more about Three Chords and what they're about. That's an invitation right there.
Looking at you.
Hopefully you're watching. You won't have a choice because I'm going to send it to you. Either way, what we got here. So the mash bill, it's right on the side of the bottle here. It's 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. And we do know this is a 16-year Tennessee whiskey is what this is. So the typical 12 bar, which is this version of Three Chords, is usually a blend of Kentucky and Tennessee bourbon or whiskey. But this one's a straight single barrel pick from them. So there was only 84 bottles released with this proof. They had 3 different picks. This one was the highest proof, and that's the one we love. We love trying to go with that stuff, just like every other person out there. And this was bottle 58 out of 84, and it was barreled on 12/17 of 2004, and it was bottled on January 20th of 2021. So
16.
It's awesome. A 16-year pick. I haven't tried it in a very long time.
Actually, for me too.
The last time I tried it was inside their liquor store when they were doing samples, and all of them are delicious. But I just think that the high proof one flavor, catered to my taste buds more.
And basically, I've just had the neck pour of this bottle. Right. This is Justin and I both grabbed one. Great when we went to the store, we went and got a sample of it, and it was just great. Like the flavor profile was awesome, and so absolutely we were gonna grab one of them.
I guess what we can do too, just a little bit about Three Chord, what we could find. Again, this is why we need Mag on the show. Is that they are, at least their headquarters in New York, but they do all their business here in Michigan, so in Chelsea, which is not too far from us here. That's where they do all their blending and everything like that, and they do a phenomenal job there. I'll tell you that. Every Three Chords I've had has been really good. So we're very excited about this one. Their founder, Neil Giraldo.
I think it's Giraldo. I'm not 100%. But
I'm sure my dad could tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
But he was partner to Pat Benatar for a while.
Yeah, I'm surprising, right?
That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who that is. Legend,
right.
Absolute legend. He's produced some tracks with their...
Love is a Battlefield.
Love is a Battlefield.
You know, some really, really well-known tracks.
Yes, Bourbon is a Battlefield and Bourbon is Love. So I definitely agree with that song. And anyways, he's just done a lot of great stuff over his musical career, and he decided to get into bourbon. So, I mean, I love him even more now, and I've never met him.
Yeah, Benatar, Kenny Loggins, some big names this guy's worked with.
So, I mean, his whole thing was he was drinking with friends, and it naturally came into music because that's what their whole lives are about. And, you know, his thing was how can music affect bourbon, the vibrations of music, and how could it affect and fine-tune the taste. So, that's kind of my extent of my knowledge of it for now, but I do know I like their stuff. So
definitely good. So let me ask this real quick, Justin. So we have, you know, some regular single barrel right here, but there's also something called a 12 bar reserve, correct? So we've got a couple of those up here. So
well, this is also 12 bar.
Right. So you can get a pick of what would be a 12 bar, but you can also get a pick of, you know, just a regular single barrel. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you don't have to do 12 bar. You know, they have Strange Collaborations, one of their more popular ones, and that's actually a really good story about that. Definitely look on their site and read about it, about how they came up with the name. But yeah, they're popping up everywhere, and they're all very unique, and they also have a very cool blending process that you get to do when you do a pick with Three Chords. So awesome. I love the standard 12 bar, I'll tell you that much. So
yeah, so let's get into it, right?
Okay.
Let's go ahead and pull these guys to the side real quick.
Let's do that.
And then take this fella, and then get him started. Right now, today we're using our Glencairns from our friend Arizona Whiskey Community. Yeah, see if the camera can capture that. One of our friends on Instagram. So if you want to have your Glencairn featured on the show, just make sure to send it on in to us, and we'd be glad to do that and give you a shout out.
Yeah, Brandon, his name's Brandon. Hopefully he's okay with me saying that. He's a great guy. He's big on Instagram. He's with Bourbon Charity. He's just great in the bourbon community in general. So he's just another good person. And give him a follow. Give him a little shout out.
Absolutely. Nice pop. I really like that.
You first, sir.
Thank you, sir.
This has become my job.
Yep,
and I'm nervous.
That's what you do. Oh, you're good. Yeah, that's all we need. Perfect.
Okay.
Wow. Just like I remember, it's a little bit different actually from what I remember from the neck pour.
Oh my God, I love this.
It just has so much flavor, or I shouldn't say flavor, but aroma.
So it's not, I guess it's not really confirmed, but this is supposedly Dickel, which I'm okay with. Just the nuttiness and oakiness, and
I don't know a whole lot about, to be
chocolatey
honest,
and
to be honest with our viewers,
leather.
I don't know a whole lot about Dickel.
Just naming stuff.
I might have, tried maybe 1 or 2 bottles here and there.
Same. I don't know a whole lot, but from what I've tried, I actually like it. And that's if that's what this is.
If that's
Obviously,
what this is.
There's only so many distilleries in Kentucky, especially ones that can pop out some 16-year products. So I think process of elimination.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
you got
the
it,
one.
buddy. It's
Okay.
so I'll just tell you on the nose what I'm getting. There's obviously it's deep oak. I mean the 16 year, it's really really great.
Yeah, but I
get some interesting. It's so good. It's really really deep notes. I get some it's kind of weird. I get a little bit of cereal notes, but they're like I don't know, like a deep brown sugar.
yes,
molasses.
I was just really deep inside there, and I got a burnt caramel.
Yeah, burnt caramel
Almost
for sure.
And burnt nose hairs a little bit.
Yep.
Because I was too deep.
Yeah, you got to be careful with this one. What's the proof on it again? You said it earlier, but let's remind.
Did I?
Didn't you?
123.8.
So it's hot, right? It's got some proof. So if you get one of these, particular picks, understand that there might be some proof to it, but that's probably just going to impart more flavor, right? Because
I get leather tobacco.
Definitely leather tobacco. I wouldn't say prototypical deep notes, but definitely the you know, the ones that you're somewhat used to seeing with something of this depth. All right, buddy, you ready? Let's get into it. Cheers.
Yep. More of that tobacco on the tongue there.
Oh yeah.
Oakiness. Just it's kind of just shy of an oak bomb, but it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
It does have a lot of oak to it, but the fact of the matter is, I'm noticing as it goes down and it kind of clears out, all of those flavors that we talked about on the nose are absolutely happening on the palate, and on the finish, it is really going down deep, all the way down to your stomach, pretty much.
But it's pretty short for me, short-lived overall.
Yeah.
The finish. So
You can feel it going down, but it's not going to stick
to
around
be honest
forever.
with you, for as hot as it is, it doesn't quite drink like that.
No, it
yeah,
really
I don't-
doesn't. It really doesn't.
I actually like it. Like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like it. I've had it before.
Right.
That's why I have one at home, but I've tried it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm digging the high corn content. I think that's why there's really almost not really any spice to it, and I think that's probably because of the low rye.
And you're not getting
knows?
any of those, like, really of those ethanol,
No.
or you don't get
No.
any of that, which you would think
No.
maybe with a high proof might happen, but you're not getting any of it on this one. So, yeah, this is just an incredible, incredible bottle. So if you do see,
so
certainly if
good.
you see a 12 bar, but anything really that comes out from Three Chord, we've obviously sampled other ones. Pick it up.
Yep, and we'll
take a look at it.
for sure. I mean, the 16-year, this is just a treat, but definitely, if you can find a standard 12 bar release, or even one of these store picks or a strange collaboration, don't hesitate to pick one up. Don't be afraid to. I know, just seeing the name, I wasn't too familiar with it. The bottle's really cool. I love the bottle. I wasn't too sure. I tried one, and man, everyone I've had, I've really enjoyed. So, and I need to actually re-up on my 12 bar here, because they're delicious. Or I'm
So
just gonna take yours and take it to my house. So
Go ahead. We share. That's what we do.
Right.
But
I can cap this off, and we
go
can
ahead and
cap
cap.
this
Yep.
episode
Make sure that
off as well.
Exactly. Sounds good. Thanks so much for following us, guys, and watching along. Make sure that you if you would like to subscribe and give us a like, and we'll be
Follow
talking.
on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, and we'll be talking to you shortly. Cheers.
Cheers.
And if you want to keep track of all of your bottles, go to app.homebar.io and register for your own account today. We've built in features such as the average price paid for bottles, reviews, tasting notes, and even recording store picks. It's totally free to use, and we have a lot of other great features coming soon. Join our quickly growing community of bottle collectors, home bartenders, and whiskey nerds so you can partake in all the fun. Cheers.